Number 10, Awesome Kong in TNA, also known as Karma in WWE. Now, she got a pretty short run in WWE because of a pregnancy and other circumstances, but she still always had like an aura about her. She's definitely a missed boat in terms of the kind of figure she could have been within a company like WWE. She arguably had more of a spotlight in TNA as Awesome Kong. Good matches with, Gail Kim and such, good rivalry there for what it was. But yeah, someone that's a bit forgotten about now, and that's kind of too bad because she left an impression on me. Number 9 is, of course, the obligatory Trish Stratus. She's going to be on everyone's top 10 women's wrestlers list, I believe. Lita got pushed off this list for me. Spoiler, I'll tell you that now. And that's partially because I think with Trish's recent little comeback run she had versus Lita's, Trish, I think, has held up a bit better in terms of her in-ring ability, arguably gotten even better. She always kind of bucked the trend that you'd think, from looking at her, oh, she's just the pretty face. She's just there because of her looks, but she put in the time. She was very athletic, especially compared to a lot of the other women around the Attitude Era. She put in the time to be legitimately, pretty solid in the ring. And like I said, with her feud with Becky Lynch not too long ago, steel cage match she had with Lynch was genuinely very, very good. And her heel work, I think, is really where she's at her best. So yeah, number 9 is Trish Stratus. Number 8 is Charlotte Flair. Now, I know the internet loves to kind of push her down. She has the Flair name. That's the only reason she's there. That's the only reason she has all these, title reigns and opportunities and such. Of course, they got her foot in the door, but how many issues has Ric Flair had with WWE over the years? And we've seen people with names, with lineages, come and go. But Charlotte Flair has, stayed. She's remained, within the industry. She's proven herself time and time again in terms of her in-ring ability, her technical skill. She has power to her with her boots and her spears. She's good on the mic. Definitely best as a heel, but face, it can work too. I think she's objectively, this is a personal list, but objectively I could understand her being in the top 5 who's ever done it. And she could end up a little bit higher for me as time goes on, who knows. But yeah, Charlotte Flair deserves her flowers. Number 7 is Victoria, also known as Tara in TNA. She and Charlotte could kind of rotate for me. Any wrestling fan always, have these lots. But like the quote from Trish Stratus here, why the hell isn't Victoria in the Hall of Fame? She was just as good as Trish and Lita back in the Attitude Era. I think her persona was actually more interesting. The crazy side of it as well, and all she does for the interaction with fans these days, and her trade in terms of her website and everything is really cool. She always had a great look. She always had a tenacity to her per se, and I need to watch more of her full run in TNA. But I think arguably she got a better spot there too, which is funny, and something I've said at least twice now. But yeah, I feel like Victoria gets quite overlooked, and that's a damn shame because, again, I put her ahead of Trish and Lita. I just do. So yeah, Victoria. And number 7 is Asuka. Now, Asuka really made an impression when she was on NXT, the whole 900 some odd day undefeated streak. She really kind of showed up a lot of women when she got to the main roster in WWE too. It was a bit dwindled by her losing Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania, which was all right, but it was her handling after that got just so frustratingly inconsistent. And she's just been floating mostly within like the tag team territory for the past however many years. She did have a bit of a world title run not too long ago, but even then she seemed like an afterthought, and that is unfortunate because Asuka's another one that's legitimately somewhere on the objective list, I think, of the best to ever do it. Personally, for me, she's at number 6 at least. My wife likes her a lot too. Her persona, her look, it feels very unique, especially within the realm of WWE. Uh, and I feel like Asuka, is kind of slipping through their fingers a bit in terms of what sort of spot they could be putting her in. But yeah, she's always going to be regarded for me. So yeah, Asuka for sure. And number 5 for me is Katana Chance. I'm sure she's probably not on, some usuals, top 5 list, but she is for me. Katie Catanzaro. Go back and watch her on freaking American Ninja Warrior. This woman, she is short, but that doesn't matter. She is a freaking, physical specimen. Her physique, her athletic ability, holy hell, she is smooth. Her ring work, her technical ability, which I think doesn't get talked about either. I agree with Meltzer here. Meltzer of all people, he is right on the money here. I do like her tag team with Carter. I think they're a really fun tag team. But they're pretty much used as just jobbers. I've played her all the time in some of the video games. I've made her, the face of my women's division. Gave her big, title victories at because I think she honestly deserves it, and I do think she would really deserve to be in some kind of prominent position, or at least be given the chance to. I think if she was given the chance to, she could probably be in my top 3. I'm not kidding. That's how high Katana Chance, as she's named now, could go. But please don't just let her, kind of be as overlooked as she is for forever. She's pretty freaking amazing. Now we have Alba Fire. Kaylee Ray, as she was known at one point, another one. I've made the fixture of my women's division in the video games. Multiple world titles, WrestleMania headlines, everything. I love her persona, her character. Really, really deserves more time as well. Her ability in NXT UK has gotten very overlooked as well. I think she's more talented than most of the women main eventing on the main roster. I won't name names. But yeah, another one I feel like is kind of slipping through the fingers. It was great to see her and Isla Dawn have that tag title victory a while ago. That was a great moment. I watched it live. But since then, just in the wind. I don't get it, man. Alba Fire, she's still legitimately this high on my list because I think there's that much to her, and I think she's shown that much in the brief chances she's had. But yeah, I love Alba Fire. Now, my top 3 women's wrestlers were really, really difficult for me. I've rotated them, I don't know how many times. But for now, number 3 is Rhea Bloody Ripley. In my opinion, the face of the women's division at this point, the past year or two. Powerhouse, incredible persona, really good mic skills. To me, she's once-in-a-generation talent in terms of just how special she comes across. Mommy, everything like that. Just look at that pose, man. That's sick. I don't know. She's my age. I believe about 28 years old, and she's accomplished all she has. Already, to me, has a Hall of Fame career. Just give it like another 5-10 years, and she's gonna be definitively maybe a GOAT. And number 2 is Becky Lynch, one that I think objectively should be in the top 5 of anyone's women's wrestlers of all time. Top 3 to me, honestly, which is why she's number 2. She could be number 1 very much so on a different day. She really exploded with her man character, and what she was able to take from having her freaking nose broken, what she did with that. Her mic skills have gotten better and better as with her ring skills. I loved her book, everything. There's just so much to Becky Lynch, and I'm so glad she is seen as the legend she is now. Can't wait for her to hopefully come back and give us a little bit more. And my personal favorite for now is still Sera, formerly known as Paige. People forget that she laid the foundation for the Revolution. In a time of Bellas and everything, she was tearing it up in NXT, the anti-diva. I've gotten a cameo from her. There's a weird section of the internet that really hates her for these odd underlying reasons, but she's freaking amazing. AEW is fumbling her, but to me, she is a freaking icon. and she is my favorite women's wrestler of all time.